blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. That's not the Messiah, that's marketing. You've seen the image floating around, golden hair, soft blue eyes, porcelain skin, but let me tell you something that they did not teach you in Sunday school. That version of Jesus, it isn't the Bible, it's from Renaissance Europe. And it wasn't about religion, it was about control. If you make God look like you, it's easier to justify dominating others. White Jesus was a tool of empire, and it worked. Jesus was a Middle East Jew, born in Bethlehem, raised in Nazareth. You think folks in that region 2,000 years ago looked like Brad Pitt? This is not about race, it's about truth. Truth isn't always comfortable. It's always necessary.
People find out that the person that they pray to and call their savior and think that he's coming back, wait until they find out that he was actually a person. Just remember, anytime you see the elites or whatever you want to call them trying to make us hate a specific person or thing, it's really just because that's the most powerful thing. They do everything in their power to make us hate black people. That's because these people are so powerful. These people have been here forever. White people did not pop up until about 5,000 years ago. Now, there's going to be quite a few of white people that are going to be mad at this because y'all think everything is about you, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. And it never was. Think about it. I don't know where the fuck white people came from, to be honest, but we are not meant to be in the sun. Like black people are from Earth. They have been here a long ass time, bro. The sun loves them. The sun hates white people, okay? I'm just being honest. Part of that has to do with wearing sunscreen and sunglasses, but that's for a whole nother video. All of those ancient people from ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, those were, ever notice how the nose are always chopped off on those ancient structures? That's because they don't want us to know the truth. I'm not going to say too much about this photo because I don't want my video to get taken down again. But I mean, y'all see what's going on. A lot of things you've just been lied to, y'all. Pretty much everything is the opposite of what you think it is. There's a reason they want to divide black people. It's because black people are the most connected. They are very, very, very talented at singing, dancing, athletics, you name it. So many things are designed to limit them. I think that black women are the most powerful people on the planet because the number two things that the elites, whatever you want to call them, that they hate the most is women and black people. So there you have it, black women. Those are the people that we need to be listening to. Those are the leaders of the new earth. And I'm not saying that women aren't powerful, but there's just something about an enlightened black woman who is embodying her gifts that is just so powerful, y'all.
Is God black? Let's unpack it. And not with emotion, with facts, history, and a little theology. First, in Genesis, it says that God created man in his own image. But what did his image look like? Geography speaking, the Garden of Eden is believed to be, by many scholars, to have been in Africa or in the Middle East, the cradle of civilization in East Africa. So the first humans, most likely, dark skin. Let's go deeper. In ancient Egypt, Ethiopian and early Christians, gods, angels, and prophets were often depicted as black or brown skin, not European features. Depictions came centuries before European colonization and reshaped the visual narrative. That's not the Bible. That's branding. That's not the Western art. That's colonization. That's a Western art. That's colonization. But when people ask this question, they're really asking, does my culture or my skin, my history have a place in the image of God? The answer is yes. Drop your comments below respectfully. Let's have a grown conversation. Before you get mad, ask yourself why this challenges you. This is what TikTok is for. It's for us to unite, to talk, and to celebrate each other. Y'all have a great day.
The reason it matters that Jesus is black, yeah, I know what you're saying. It doesn't matter. It matters, bro.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Historical Africa. Today we are diving into a powerful question that has been sparking debate for years. Why do people think the Jesus in the European Bible is fake? This is not just about religion. It is about history, culture, colonization, and truth. Let's get into it. Watch out, pay attention, and I will share my thought later.
We stole an entire identity from these people. There was a race that was chosen by God, okay? When God was playing this Sims game, he chose a black character, okay? Because that most closely related and identified with his personality. He wanted to be humble. He wanted to come as a meek person. Bro, the entire Bible is a redemptive story about black people. From going from last to they're gonna be first, bro. It's the entire Bible is like the redemption of a race that was being used for slavery since the beginning of time. Think about this. This is why black people are superior to white people. This is why they can run faster. They have harder heads. This is why they can jump higher. They're the chosen race of God. It's so in your face, dude. The Egyptians with the cornrow hair, and now, where are all our Egyptian people, bro? I don't have any Egyptian friends. I've never met an Egyptian, dude. It's like they just disappeared, dude. What happened to that whole race of people? It's black people, okay? When you read the Bible, the reason it doesn't make sense to you is because you're not replacing the word Jew or Hebrew with black person. Black people. You have the most sacred, beautiful position. You have the biggest shoes to fill. I am so sorry for everything. You'll all see when we get up there. You'll see when we get up there and Juicy J is playing, okay? You'll be like, oh! Oops! Crazy dude on TikTok was right. It's everywhere in history. White people whitewash history wherever we go. We take that for ourselves. Bro, the Egyptians had electricity, okay? The Luxor, the Black Pyramid that shoots up light into the sky. What do you think that's about, dude? They had electricity, dude. The Nile had all the elements for batteries and electricity, like the copper and the salt water and the limestone and everything. Look up the Djed Towers, dude. Anyway, Jesus is black and he's coming back.
My guy, you are most definitely wrong, because if it didn't matter, it wouldn't have been written. So a lot of people would like to know, what color is Jesus? What color is God's Spirit? So let's talk about it. And before I get started, please understand that this is not about the color, but it's about the truth. Yes, the Messiah was a black man, and God made his son in his image. God says in the Bible that his spirit is the color of jasper, sardine stone. In Revelation, it says his head and his hairs were white like wool. This is the color of white woolly hair. Who the only ones with woolly hair that stand out from the rest of the people? Black people. It said his feet was unto the color of fine brass, burnt in a furnace. Now this picture is the color of fine brass burnt in a furnace. Extremely black. The Messiah was a very, very dark man. And I know a lot of y'all like to say, no, he's Middle Eastern. So if y'all believe Eastern, then y'all should know that the Middle East was a part of Africa, right? Full of black people, dark black people. Wait, but y'all love to say, no, he's an olive skin color. Well, let me tell you something. I only know two different color olives, the green olive and the dark black olive. So tell me which one it is. There's pictures from the 13th century of a black Messiah and black saints. To be honest, almost everybody in the Bible was black, and a lot of them had locks. That's why I'm kind of glad that a lot of us are coming back to our roots. A lot of us are starting to get locks, because it's really a part of who we are. So the Messiah had hair like wool that was as white as snow. He was the color of fine brass burnt in a furnace. He was from the Middle East, which back in those times was Northeast Africa. So I don't know who this man is or what agenda they're trying to put out. Even if they didn't believe that the Messiah was black, the least they could have did was make the hair white, make the eyes red. Like I don't know who they thought they was fooling with that image. Like, that's the true deception of Christ. Most of those people in the Bible was blacker than coal. And a lot of them will tell you that their skin is black upon them. And please understand that this is not racist. It's the truth. And all I want to do is wake my people up to who they really are. Because we are more important than y'all ever know.
Jesus was most likely considered a black man. This is based on the Sephardic DNA in the Middle Eastern area, which connects Sephardic Jews to the Hebrew people more than Ashkenazi Jews. Jesus, as described in Revelations, having bronze feet, meaning darker skin complexion, and woolly hair would mean that he was more so a Moorish or African descendant person in modern day terms. But that doesn't mean he is from Africa, and it doesn't mean he was dark-skinned black.
The reason why black and brown people suffer is because this world worships the Antichrist. This is not the real Messiah. This is a false Messiah. Masih Dajjal. This is the real Messiah of Nazareth. His name was Isu in Old Greek, Isa in Arabic. He was Hebrew. He spoke Hebrew, just like his mother Mary. Hebrews are nomadic people that today are described as black African. His story and teaching is known as the Gospel or Injil. When he passed away, a long and slow satanic process of whitewash started. The Romans who persecuted Isu started unaliving his Hebrew followers, destroying and burning the Temple of Jerusalem. Then after hundreds of years, the Romans started using his story as a way to glorify themselves. First, they changed the language from Hebrew to Greek. Then they Greekified all the names from Isu to Isus to Jesus. Then they started tampering with the Gospels, removing verses, adding verses that glorify the Romans, such as, we crucified the Messiah. No, you Romans didn't crucify the Messiah. Then they started burning verses of the Gospel that they disagree with. They started persecuting and unaliving the Gnostics and the Arians and anyone who disagreed with them. And under Emperor Constantine, white supremacy was born when they made the execution tool the symbol of the teaching of the Messiah. In hoc signo vinces, in this sign you shall conquer. And the false Christ was born, and the story of the real Messiah became legend. Until today, 1,700 years later, where the whole world is under the rule of the Antichrist, every nation looks up to the Western man as the moral standard for what is right. But these are the last days.
And yet another image of your Pope in front of our black King, Jesus, Jesus. And it's not Yeshua, guys. That's the Hebrews have messed y'all up with that name. I'm going to do a whole new video on that. Jesus. Jesus. It's your Messiah. I understand waking up from the Matrix is not an easy thing to do. We've been lied to our entire life. We've been psyoped and misled about everything. Every book has been rewritten. Every painting has been repainted. Things have been buried. Things have been moved. All in an effort to deceive us. It is truly my belief that Tartaria was the 1,000-year reign of Christ. And it's been covered up, never talked about, and it's just now coming out because, as the Bible says, there's nothing that is buried that will not be uncovered. The truth is coming out slowly, but we're starting to get more and more puzzle pieces of the timeline that we're living in right now. Satan didn't want us to know the timeline we were in. He wanted us to think that we were heading into destruction and evil, where that's their end game. We, the meek of the earth, are about to inherit it. the new heaven and the new earth are coming in. There's a Christ consciousness that's coming in, causing an awakening on a massive scale around the whole world. I'm just one vessel that the Holy Spirit works through to bring the truth to you. So I understand this is very hard to wrap your mind around because of the religious dogmas we've been sold since we were children. But I'm trying to bring the truth to you as softly as I can, because there's going to be a lot of information coming out in the future that is going to be mind-blowing for a lot of people, and they're going to have to absorb it in a very short period of time. So I'm trying to soften that blow for you guys and let you know that we've been deceived. So I'm here to teach you also what Jesus taught you, not what church teaches you, religion, or the Vatican, because they're lying to you. Jesus called them liars, hypocrites, vipers, told them that their father was the devil, the father of all lies. He's been a murderer and a liar since the beginning. He didn't like the church leaders of his day, and they haven't changed very much because they're still preaching the same doctrine. And I'm here to break the matrix for you guys.
Seriously though, Dave, when somebody tells you Jesus is black and you say, color doesn't matter, or I don't care if it was blue, black, green, or purple, it's a form of self-hatred. You have a self-loathing personality. Okay, and let me explain what I mean when I say that. When somebody tells you Christ is black and you immediately jump to that answer, that's because you can't see yourself being better than who you are. If you understood that Christ was black, you would not have hatred towards your own brother and sister. You would not want to kill, steal, disrespect the next brother or sister because you don't see Christ in them. That's why you do it. If you understood that Christ was black like you would not be wearing wigs all day, sisters. If you understood Christ looked like you, brother, you would not disrespect the next man just because he stepped on your shoe by accident. You would not want to kill him because of that. You would understand, like, oh, okay, let me talk to him. Let me explain some things. Let me have a conversation with this brother. You don't see Christ in one another. That's why y'all disrespect each other. Y'all don't see Christ in one another. That's why you will go down to the abortion clinic and kill that baby before it's even born. You understand what I'm saying? So, knowing that Christ is black is very key, because if you knew that, you would treat each other with utmost respect instead of treating the opposite people with all the respect in the world and looking at your brothers and sisters like the scum of the earth. Self-hatred is a symptom of various mental health disorders.
For centuries, European charts and Bibles have shown Jesus as a white man with pale skin, flowing hair, and often blue eyes. But let's think about this. Jesus was a Jewish man from the Middle East, born in Bethlehem, raised in Nazareth, in what is now Palestine, Israel. Historically, he would have had brown skin, dark hair, and Middle Eastern features. So why does the European version look so different? That is the first reason people call the European Jesus fake, because the image does not match the real man from history. When Europeans began colonizing Africa, Asia, and the Americas, they used Christianity as a tool of influence. Missionaries